One of the joys of being the host of our BizVision Conscious Business activity is zooming around the world to meet conscious leaders and their lighthouse companies. Today is one of the best. My guest's achievements in business alone are breathtaking, not to mention her full-time dedication to homeschooling her children whilst building a business portfolio with a combined valuation of $100 million. She's the CEO of a digital marketing agency that exudes consciousness. Oh, and did I mention that she's a Disney fan and a helicopter pilot? So come with me to LA to meet the CEO of Brandlync, Jessica Mead. Welcome, Jessica.
Oh, thank you, Malcolm. I'm so excited to be here.
We're delighted to talk to you. Jessica, I said in my opening piece that you are a busy person and a busy leader. In point of fact, just reading what you do exhausted me. How do you ensure that you're effective of all you do? So what's the lesson? Is it time management?
I think the lesson here is to lead a life by intentional design and purpose. Become the architect of your life. And once you figure out what that means and how to do that, you really got a good foundation. Of course, time management is a big part to ensure effectiveness. For me, it's mainly about what I give time to, how I give the time, and I'm not allowing time bandits to creep into my day, whether that's people or tasks that can cause me to stray away. I encourage people to take 10 minutes before bed and make a list of all the tasks that need to be completed the next day and give them a ranking and priority. Setting yourself up the evening before for the next day is crucial. I know so many people who will wake up and they're kind of frantic. They don't attack their business and personal life the same way. The other thing I say with that is tackle that really big thing. First thing, get it out of the way. I think Mark Twain has a really clever quote about if your job is to eat a frog, eat the frog first, because get that done. And then the rest of the day, it'll be all the other tasks makes it a little easier. The other thing I would say is multitasking. I think especially women, we pride ourselves on being expert multitaskers, but don't multitask in your business. It's the difference between where you are now and making it to the next level. It kills creativity and productivity. So if you think about it, you walk away from a task that you're currently in and you're killing that momentum and the thought and creativity that's required to finish it. How long does it take you to get back to that task and get in the same mind space to where you need to execute and get that done?
That sounds like doing one job well instead of five half.
Exactly. I tell parents, don't multitask your kids either. Tell yourself this, just this, when you want to stop and start something else. Just this and then complete the task. Make yourself accountable in that way. And then also I would say, realize the value in accomplishments, not hours you put in. And don't approach your day viewing it as, I have these 10 hours. View it as the accomplishments that you get done. It helps with that self-motivation and that encouragement that you do for yourself throughout the day. I think that's really important. And I think another thing for us is how we handle failure. People naturally distance themselves from it and they make excuses like I didn't have all the information, somebody gave me the report wrong, etc. They say this and they never learn from those failures. So for us, I think taking ownership is extremely important. I know I encourage this in our companies and with our children. We take ownership, we embrace it, we learn from it, we correct it. And then we can course correct ourselves through this process and we move on.
Wow, I think there's some great lessons there, brilliant lessons there. Now,
Thank you.
got a secret criteria for what makes an exemplar conscious business and an exemplar conscious leader. I think Brandlync and you fit that criteria. Let's share that with our viewers. How do you think you and Brandlync meet my criteria?
Well, I think with all of our companies, we strive for this. We are a for-benefit organization with a focus on impact investing, regardless of the company and manner of the investment. So, for example, at Brandlync and Drivonic, two of our companies, we focus on conscious community impact. We recognize that our ability to make a financial contribution to the community is really equal only to the willingness to make the cultural time investment into the community as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
How do we do this, and how do we make sure that we're doing this? Well, we allocate a certain amount of paid time off for our employees, so that they can give back to their local community and local organizations that they're passionate about or they feel connected with. They just have to let us know how they're contributing. We do this to bring awareness into our walls, into our offices, into our homes. Hopefully that them doing this and being allowed to do this, that they will pass that sense of community and obligation to do better and be greater on. That is our hope. Anyone joining our team signs a truth and transparency statement. This is very important to us so that they know walking in that we won't tolerate anything else. Our clients know this about us, and they agree to do business with us under these same terms. So I think that's extremely important for us. And how you asked that question, I think those are two of the biggest ways that we kind of fit that criteria.
Wow, that's really, really exemplar. My congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I want to focus on Brandlync and why I feel you demonstrate consciousness in my mind. When I look at the undoubted skills and services that you offer at Brandlync, I don't see the usual digital agency splurge about how good we are at email or SEO or winning awards. I see that you focus on results and transparency, delivering on your promise. Whilst doing that, you're actually delivering what the buyer, and especially the chief financial officer, wants: return on investment. That, to my mind, is being conscious of the needs of your customer, not what you want to sell them. How and why did you arrive at this approach?
Well, again, I believe truth and transparency is key to ensuring this foundation of any relationship, whether in business or your personal life. And our clients know this about us. We have always had a philosophy of see a need, fill a need. I think everybody sort of knows that term, and it's just how we embrace that. So one of the first things we do for our clients is a needs assessment. This allows us to clearly identify not only where the customer's pain points are, but also how they measure their return on investment and gauge success. We cannot sustain any long-term relationship just pushing our products or services when they don't benefit the client. We look at their needs and we create a plan that best suits their growth, ensuring ours essentially. Secondly, I would say loyalty. We're experts at creating this because we know that people don't just buy our services and products and programs, they buy us. And the teams that we have in place, we have 10, 15, 20-year relationships with clients. It's outstanding. You don't see that retention nowadays because we understand how to listen and communicate. We're very mindful of the language we use. We're always innovating and looking for improvement. So our job is to create awareness and consideration while amplifying our customers' reputation and keeping them visually present and front of mind with their target audience. This is our mantra. This is how we guide, and we all live by this. I believe the efforts that we make in people have this dynamic effect in our business and our lives. So that effort, that willingness to go above and beyond, that generosity with our time and how we approach things makes all the difference.
I think you've just given a brilliant example as to why businesses should adopt the conscious agenda. It's an exemplar of the way forward, isn't it? Now, a key element of our conscious agenda here at BizVision is the promotion of equality, inclusion, diversity, and especially providing a platform to encourage women not only into business, but to reach top leadership heights. You're a champion in such activity. Why do you think it is that too few corporates have a good gender mix on their board, and what can be done about it?
Well, bias is a very ugly thing. Outside of the usual thoughts of, women get pregnant, they need that extra time off. They don't think like a guy. They don't have room for all the emotion in their business. This is a guy's industry. We deal in several verticals that are predominantly a male industry, automotive being one. And so the thought about who should be leading and guiding and part of that team is a little skewed when you think about that. But I think when we look at the attributions a female contribute to our life, just basically in our life, we naturally, we want to make them the caregivers and the homemakers. We see them as the family glue versus a good candidate for our company. And I say that these natural instincts that women tend to possess over men are the exact reasons why you need more on your team, because they're forced to deal with so many verticals in their life, from school to groceries to family financial management to doctors to extracurricular activities. They're forced to inject themselves into so many different areas that they're well equipped to think faster and very efficient. They're expert communicators. They have different personalities. And, I think their relationship building skills, they have to be on point. So, they think like a mom, even if they're not a mom yet, they have this instinct to do anything it takes to get the job done. I think crisis management tends to be a really strong suit for women. I think companies that are really in tune with the needs of their clients and the divisions in their company, they need to approach filling the seats in a different way. They need to think about the area that they're hiring for and the current team in place. What's missing and what is the vision or culture of the team? Then they need to think about the ideal candidate based on the needs and not the gender. Fill that seat with the right human being based on the needs all the way around. And don't let the thought that the current team is all men, where it makes you instantly think it's best suited for a man. Hire based on those needs and qualities you're looking for. If you hire from this approach alone, this will allow you to bring in different perspectives, enhance collaboration, reflect your customers' needs, and you fill it from a different approach, from a wider talent pool.
My wife would endorse everything you've just said. Without
well,
a doubt.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Without a doubt.
I love it.
Yeah. Listen, can I ask you what you think are the 3 traits missing in women for them to achieve leadership longevity?
Okay, so I would say courage, confidence, and finding and seeking support. I think women have all this self-doubt built in naturally. They have all these challenges that they face personally when they're trying to either get back into the workforce or they are just starting out. So that courage to just wake up every day and know that you have the skills, you have the talent, you have the ability to gain the knowledge that you're lacking, just like every other human being, just like every man. Wake up with that courage. Confidence, man, we do this to ourselves. We tear each other down. We tear ourselves down. Self-love is a big thing. We have to show ourselves some mercy and grace and find that self-love for ourselves each and every day. And then finding and seeking that support is vital. I don't think men do this enough either. They, rather than ask for directions or help, I've got this, I'll do this myself. Women fall into that same trap, so just reaching out, leaning on each other. I think those 3 things are really what, if we could nail those, we'd be unstoppable.
Yes, without a doubt. Yeah. I know us males are becoming redundant. Look, business is changing faster than ever. Do you see the power of the female investor emerging? And if so, how will that emergence help deliver better and more consciousness businesses?
I do see that emerging. However, currently women invest 40% less than men. It's just fact. And part of that is financial professionals just treat women differently. It's the financial industry is a man's world, and women tend to feel patronized and are less likely to be listened to when it comes to investing ideas. There are many areas where women find value differently than men. And so we should embrace that. But they look at soft skills. They tend to be more important to women. Like, do we align on interest? Do they treat me like an equal? does this person take ownership for actions? Do they understand me or understand my specific situation? Another shift we have to see for advisors is to understand that women are not a homogenous group. They're, married partner breadwinner. They're a married contributor. They're single breadwinner, or they're suddenly single because of divorce or death or, other circumstances. So we have to understand that each one has unique needs. I've seen more women reinvesting their earnings into platforms they believe in and sound business deals. 51% of personal wealth in the US is controlled by women. Women tend to save more and think differently about money. Along with this investing shift, more companies are realizing the power of the female dollar. 70 to 80% of consumer purchases are driven by women, either by buying power or influence. This alone tells us that women are key decision makers when it comes to financial moves. Statistics show, I believe it's 96% have primary or shared responsibility for family financial decisions. So when you think about that, it's like, who's influencing those decisions when it comes to the dollar that's spent? Female investors, they just bring a different value to the mix. They're natural nurturers, like we talked about. They know the value of establishing relationships, and they're really good at leaning or learning from other women. So I think women are more cautious. Therefore, they analyze investments all the way around and look at all the variables involved. So I do see a shift. However, we just don't have enough having faith or trusting in the advisors and the people that they need to lean on in order to invest. But I do see it happening. I'm a female investor. I know the power of it. So my hope is that more women jump on board and that we can get that going.
I'm totally with you on that. Now, tell me about your women's empowerment movement, Still Orbiting. What's its mission or purpose, and how do you aim to achieve that purpose?
Well, for me, this is an ever-evolving work in progress. I just want to tell you that first and foremost. But what I would like it to be is a movement for all people, not just women. I want to inspire them to stop being complacent and to start moving forward. Many people go through life treating it like the practice round, but in reality, this is the game. This is our life, and this is the only one we get. So the average human lives to be between, 78 and 85, which means we all get the same 80 or so orbits around the sun. Yeah. So still orbiting for me has always been this mantra that I'm still here, I'm still strong, I'm still moving forward. I still have so much to offer, and I still have the capacity to evolve and shift my mindset. That's why I said in the beginning, this is ever evolving, because I think it will naturally grow. When life stomps all over us or bad things happen, death, divorce, conflict, families falling apart, bridges burned to the ground, I want Still Orbiting to be this community for not just women, but all humans to get inspired and realize that if we are still here and still orbiting, we are all unstoppable. So that's just kind of where that's been for me. It's just been my personal mantra to help me get through times and situations and complexities in my life. And so I want to pass that on to people.
I love that. And I'll be thinking of that when I look to the stars tonight.
Excellent.
Listen,
Excellent.
Jessica,
Go ahead.
Jessica, you don't build a successful group of businesses like you have without an ability to inspire and lead. So if I was to ask your employees and say your investees what style of leadership you have, what do you think they would say?
Oh, that's a good question. So I'm always really mindful of how I lead, and I try to educate myself and evolve that. So I think if I were to ask, they would say that I'm a visionary who serves others and leads with generosity and value, and that I strive to empower, align, and encourage transformation. I would hope that would be how they would view me.
I'm sure they will. Now, Jessica, I know that you're a big Disney fan, and
yes.
And all the the wishes and the stardust that we get with Disney. I'm going to grant you 3 wishes. If I give you
good.
3 wishes for the future of the true acceptance, understanding, and value of women in business, what will your 3 wishes be?
Okay, so my first wish would be for women to wake up each day with courage, confidence, curiosity, and love, and that they would carry this around with them throughout the day, and to really embrace what this means and to be empowered by it.
Really good. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Jessica Mead, Brandlync, I think you're a wonderful person, a true example of a good conscious leader. Thank you for the interview.
Oh, absolutely, Malcolm. It was wonderful to be here.